Hey, what's up guys, it's Theyo from Theyo Concepts, and this is the review of the Nikon 24 to 120mm f4 lens for Nikon cameras. For the price, is it good enough? Well, let's find out then. So if you should ever have this in your hands, this is how it looks like. Unlike Canon, Nikon includes lens hood for camera lenses. I believe third-party lens manufacturers like Tamron, Sigma, Yongnuo, and even Meike also do the same. This is a zoom lens, meaning it doesn't have a fixed focal length, and it is also a telephoto lens by zooming in all the way to 120mm. Note that not all zoom lenses are telephoto lenses. There are the 10 to 20mm, the 11 to 16mm, and the 16 to 35mm, which are also zoom lenses, but they always produce wide images and videos. The manual and autofocusing sliders are located on the sides. The vibration reduction slider and this other one. There are also some interesting encryptions on the lens, like the nano crystal codes SWM, VR, ED, and IF, which all have specific meanings and determine what you get with this lens. So if you're interested in learning more about those, then check the first link in the description. Because this is a premium lens, Nikon spared no expense to ensure that the ring mount is made entirely of metal. The plastic body is of a concern though, but it appears to be hard plastic, so you wouldn't have to worry too much about dropping it. This is a compact and versatile 5x standard zoom lens with 9 aperture blades that open up to a maximum of f4 and a minimum of f22. And if you didn't already get this from the name, it has a focal length of 24 to 120mm. It comes with a minimum to maximum focusing distance of 0.4 meters to infinity respectively. The focusing ring also provides a smooth zoom in and out with few jitters. This lens has support for Nikon F mount system, so if you're on a newer Nikon camera, say the Z series, you have to get the proprietary adapter for this. Although the standard zoom is designed for full-frame FX format F-mount cameras, it can also be used with crop sensor DX models where it provides a 36 to 180mm equivalent focal length range. It comes with Nikon VR Mark II, VR which stands for vibration reduction, to help stabilize handheld shots as much as possible. Well, Nikon says this is more of a standard zoom lens, so I guess that's why they have it bundled with every new camera that they sell. Image quality is good enough if you have good lighting. For a great shot though, zooming in is the way to go. I noticed there were much blurrier backgrounds when zoomed in. Here's how the lens video quality looks at aperture 4 and varying focal length. So at 120mm, here's how it looks. Then 85mm, 70mm, 50mm, 30mm, and finally at 24mm. And for indoor shots, here's how it looks at f4 and varying focal length. This is how it looks like at 120mm. And here is how it looks at 85mm. At 70mm, here is how it looks. And at 50mm, you can see how wide it is getting. So at 30mm, you can see that I am far from the camera. And here is how it looks at 24mm. So as you can see, I will have to come as close to the camera as possible because the lens is too wide at 24mm. As you may have guessed, the indoor shots are much darker because of the f4 aperture, which is the maximum, unfortunately. One thing I forgot to mention is that the lens is in no way small or lightweight, at least in my opinion. I know there are much heavier lenses, especially in the 70 to 200s and the general telephoto lens range, but this is equally heavy. Funny enough, even with this zoom range, it still doesn't feel as heavy as the Sigma 35mm f1.8 lens, which you can find more up here or down in the description below. So here comes the big question. For about 15,000 Ghana cedis brand new and right around 6,000 and 8,000 for a used one, should you get this? Well, this is what I think. Depending on what you want to use it for, this lens can actually be super helpful or a complete waste of resource. If you'll be shooting a lot of landscapes or wildlife or primarily be using this in broad daylight, then this is the one to go for. But if most of your work will be indoors or you need a much wider aperture for blurry background, then I think you should consider something else. An example would be Tamron's or Sigma's 24 to 70mm f2.8 lens, which is priced right around the same price as this one. Yes, you lose out on the extra 71 to 120mm focal length, but you make up for it in a much wider aperture. So far, Tamron and Sigma lenses work well with Nikon cameras even when they have adapters connected to it, so it's worth considering them too. Anyway, links to all the lenses and everything I've spoken about in this video will be in the description below, so be sure to check it out. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to watch more of our videos, hit that subscribe button, and as always, don't forget to share with your family and friends. This is Theyo for Film Concept, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.